What if it's just a horse head? You know what I mean?
Okay, that'll be a bit morbid, but if you can sell it,
You just take that horse head.
it's fucking bleeding and stuff on the ground.
Welcome to another episode of Don Draper's Den. On this podcast, we discuss branding and marketing, and how it touches so many aspects of our lives. We also talk a bunch of trash about music and food and culture and each other and so much more. So we hope that you are entertained. We hope you can get some insight from two marketing professionals such as ourselves. I'm Chris. This is Ernie. In this episode, we get into, once again, we revisit our hobby horse obsession, which is just fantastic.
Fantastic.
That is so good.
Yeah.
Sponsors, we're going to wait on you. As well, we get into celebrity kind of endorsements and how they kind of capitalize and all that sort of stuff. That's not going anywhere. And a whole bunch of other silly stuff. So we hope that you like it. Please share and like and subscribe and comment. We want to blow this thing up, of course. So we appreciate your support along the way. And without further ado, pour yourself a glass and let's get into this.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, that Indian food got me. I'm about to take a nap, dude.
Yeah.
That was chicken korma today. Quality.
Yep.
You almost shamed your people. Your section of Asia.
Filipinos don't really eat spicy food,
as you say. So, yeah.
What did I get? It was dilruba or something like that. Dilruba.
I hope so. Otherwise, you're screwing it up.
It's like 6++.
Yeah, extra
heat.
The old man was trying to hurt you today.
Yeah.
What's the name of the joint? Kashish.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Out here in Lebanon, Ohio. Shout out.
No, he almost did it. I was able to finish though.
Yeah, but they took pity on you.
They took pity on me though.
Extra water.
Extra water.
I left a piece of bread for you because it looked like you were hurting. What else? They brought out a lassi.
Yeah.
One of their weird, like homeschool lassies.
Yeah.
Not a mango lassi. I like those. And when I saw white in a cup, I thought, ooh, they brought you the milk.
I didn't ask for it though. They gave it to me. I was fine. I finished my meal. I didn't throw in the towel, dude. I live to fight another day.
You went to Independence Day on YouTube to find inspiration.
Yeah.
You're having like this existential moment. What
was some of the words of that? We will survive.
We will survive. We will fight.
We will fight.
I love that moment. Dude.
Oh, that was the best. One of the best scenes.
It's pretty good. Like it's up there, but like
I would say it's pretty good. It's good.
It's pretty damn good.
It's good.
But
maybe not the best.
Glory,
inspirational
the campfire
speeches,
scene Glory is
but that
bar
was good.
none. That is the best.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I do love that.
Damn. Yeah. Indian got me. I don't think I ever had the korma. It had raisins in it.
Yeah.
Very good. And then we got the breakdown on cricket.
Yeah.
Shout out to Baj. He hooked us up, broke it down for us.
Yeah, taught us how.
He made that shit up, dude. You don't know what he's talking about at all. He's talking about there's one way, there's another way, there's 5 days. 5 days
playing cricket.
Game for?
Hey, if you love it that much. Only with 8-hour breaks to sleep. Dude.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Get some other stuff done.
Yeah. That's a whole marathon.
You guys just do some other shit. Anyways.
But yeah, those guys are good over there. They're fun to talk to.
Yeah. It's a good hang. And new office getting a lot of love. Just a little update here, guys. Stick with us. So yeah, new update and getting a lot of love here. At the new office, we got it's coming together, right? Plans coming together.
The last of the furniture, I think, is coming next week.
That's right. Gonna look nice.
We got the studio all pretty much up. We just gotta need to decorate it more.
Yep. Get it pretty.
It's getting its use already, so it's
true.
Good.
Most importantly, I'll note that the water dispenser is as fucking fancy as it gets.
Yes.
It will match our tracksuits.
Need good water.
I shit you not. There's hot water Cold water, which is fine. That makes sense.
Mhm.
There's lukewarm water.
Yeah, room temperature water, dude.
Sure.
Look,
Of course.
you know what? I go for the good stuff for the,
I
for
know,
the staff.
man. A great owner, dude. You're taking
Yeah,
care of us,
yeah.
man. It's all good.
I even got you smoked oysters.
What
Dude, I love smoked canned oysters. I could eat that all day. All day.
how do you eat them? What do you,
Fork.
is it on a cracker?
No, just eat it straight, man.
Are you sure that's how you should do it?
That's how I do it. That's all that matters.
How one ought to do it?
It would taste good on a cracker. I give you that. Maybe put some like vinegar on there or something like that.
Honestly, it's so disgusting on its face.
Lemon.
Whatever you put on it, you could be like, "Oh, I love it with ranch." Of course, you'd say that around here. So, but it's still great. No, it doesn't matter what you add to
I
it.
don't care. I don't care. Hannah and I, we live by
She loves
late
oysters,
nights canned oysters, dude. No, we like to, going to a restaurant, eating raw oysters. Okay, yeah, that's good stuff,
bro.
But hey, you know what? To each his own. I don't judge you on your
What?
stale,
Judge.
stale,
What?
non-creative food that you eat.
Go ahead. You don't even know what it is. You don't know what it is because it doesn't stand out because it's not weird as shit. But can of oysters.
Listen, I'm preparing my body. I told you this before.
You're readying your body.
Yeah, for zombie apocalypse.
Oh yeah.
See, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is I'm going to be able to eat the oysters and the Vienna sausages in the cans, and you're going to be like, I can't eat this.
See, but no. You get it all twisted up, man. You seem to get it twisted up. We have quite a fine and dandy lifestyle.
Yeah,
right?
we do.
I want for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I have all I need. I have an abundance, and I am feeling blessed every day. Right? All things are well here in Ohio. However, if the shit goes down, I'm gonna start. You look out for the dogs because everything's on the menu. Everything's getting cooked and eaten.
You say that. You say that.
It is.
And you wear boots and stuff, but I don't see any dirt or scuff marks on those boots. Do you actually like work outside or do anything with that?
No, I got a ratty pair.
Listen, I told you before. I'll tell you again. If you're gonna come in my compound, you better be ready to work. Better eat canned food.
You doubt this as if look. I put in those couple months doing hardwood floors. Right, I'm not afraid of work. I still got the body's holding up. Right, so strong back, good legs. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. I eat like a billy goat. I don't care.
Yeah, those boots are really clean. That's all I gotta say.
They are. I got them for free. Doing hardwood floors. The guy was in the Army. He's like, anybody a 9.5? I'm like, your boy is.
There you go. Nice.
And I got hooked up.
All right.
So, anyways, so water real fancy around here. Office is coming together. We had a couple of people in to show it off. It's weird, man. It's like it's nice. Right. But as we were just talking about, like we have a vision for it, and it's not too lofty, right? We're not really going to put a gold plated shower in the back. Like we said last episode, like I want to, but it's really not going to happen. But it's like, we have some plans to make it look, pretty dope in here, but like even it kind of starting out now, you know what I mean? Just like the ideas, it's like, it's encouraging. Yeah. You're just like, I guess we are on the right track. So
I'll just be happy if I could clean out the garage in the back there and pull my motorcycles in. Seems to me that that's luxury.
Yeah.
Pull my motorcycle in.
That's like the third level of the brand, though. You know what I mean? Like of the personal brand experience, like walking here, right? We're like all, keeping it pro up front, right? All right, we get a little salty back here. We get, some rock and roll. We got some wine over here, some instruments and all this sort of thing. But then in the back, you go in the back and there's just like a motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
And like, I don't know what
I'll
else.
get a garage door opener. Yeah. Open that up, pull my motorcycle in.
Damn.
End of day. See you guys. Right. Just take right out.
You're all super badass until you just like fuck it up and tip over or something.
They're like, Chris, can you help me pick up my motorcycle? Dude, I would not do that. I will do everything I can to lift my motorcycle up without asking you for help. I know how to do it. I've done it before, like when I was younger.
I would imagine it's pretty. Honestly, I don't know how much motorcycle weighs. It seems like a heavy ass thing.
It's heavy. It's heavy. There's a technique to do it.
Yeah.
But basically, you kind of like, let's say this is your bike.
Right.
You kind of lean face out. You go out to the side.
Yeah.
You face away from the bike, and then you do like a squat.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And you pick the bike up.
There's a lot of power there. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Although
these quads, dude, I could lift it.
Let's calm down. So let's take it easy. So, but the real posh move, right? The combining of this brand level thing we got here is to go extra high tech. You get like a little like crane, in the way back. So yeah.
Heck yeah.
Just in case to lift the bike up. Do they have those? Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, there's
like a little.
I'm sure there's something like that.
It's kind of a bitch move, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you got a crew of people you ride with, and like they're talking shit about you for sure. Like the Ernie dude, he's got a little crane for his.
Oh, that's for sure. They already rip on me for everything anyway. So
yeah. Well, that's just because they care. That's what they tell me at the gym anove. You know, that's why I get my balls busted on a regular basis in a group chat.
It's the love.
That's right.
The love of
that tough love,
camaraderie. Yep.
But then who's gonna, come bail you out when times get tough?
Absolutely.
So, our personal brand, which kind of last episode's thing that we talked about, but our personal brand is kind of coming to fruition. So it feels good.
Yeah, it does.
I think, maybe we start developing, I don't know about our own brand of coffee or anything. If we had something that we made, what would be the top 2 or 3 lists? We're like, okay, our own brand of, and it's got to be exclusively podcast related, right?
Yeah,
for those of you that are inside, right?
Well, it'd definitely be liquor. We'd have right here.
Sure.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So our own brand of liquor. What kind? I mean,
it'd have to be like bourbon, scotch.
Yeah, it's bourbon.
Yeah.
So sure. All right. Own brand of liquor. Not the most original idea, but I get it.
Not wine, because there's so many brands of wine. I don't even know what wine is good. Like now, Wesley's off to Italy to enjoy wine because he loves his wine. But like to me,
fine Chablis.
There's so many brands of wine. I can't even keep track of them anymore.
Snoop Dogg has it. I can't do any. No, definitely not the one. So maybe a bourbon.
Yeah.
I would vote for my own series of horse head on a stick.
We're gonna get one. We'll put it right here. Yeah. I want that and a sign that says "Nobody Zone."
Nobody Zone.
Nobody Zone.
That's good.
Like a street sign that says "Nobody Zone."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. There's nobody name calling here.
Nobody's here, bro. Nobody's here. You
little buddy son.
You got a buddy though, because you were sweating. You looked like you were hurting.
Yeah, I was hurting during lunch, eating Indian food.
Little insult to injury there.
Yeah, I'm sitting there sweating. I got sweat on my upper lip.
I saw it under the eyes too, a little bit. Little
perspiration.
Yeah.
And then Chris looks over to me. He's like, "Are you doing all right, buddy?" And I'm like, "Really? Really, dude? You got to kick me when I'm down." Hit me with the buddy kick.
That's because you stole the table. All right, look, I didn't measure it. I meant to do that. I meant to prepare for this episode better than I had. I was going to measure the table. You ordered them, so you probably know the dimensions, but Ernie took the bigger table.
Yeah.
Power move.
Yeah, it is a power
move. It was already set up. I put it together.
Yeah. You had the bigger table. I had a smaller table. I looked at yours. I'm like, I'm taking that bigger table.
Some just gangster shit. Unnecessary show.
It's not. I usually have more people in my meetings than you.
There it is. Go ahead. No, explain it.
It's the truth.
Explain it.
I got the nicer chairs.
Nicer chair, sure. A lot more people at your meetings.
Did you see that big book, Who's Who in America book?
You needed the bigger table for the sheer fact that my small table couldn't support the massive weight
of my Who's Who in America book that I was in.
All true story, man. You're right.
Where else am I going to put that book? By the way, I thought that when I was like making Who's Who in America, that when they told me that it was like an exclusive book of like only a few people, you know, a few, like maybe a few hundred.
Yeah.
That book is this big. That's like Who's Who in all of America, really and everybody's no. It's really I'm like, big. No, okay, that all the uniqueness and feeling special went out the window when I got that book.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and to boot, like not only is the book, it's mad thick.
Yeah,
the pages
are like thinner than newspaper pages.
Yeah, it's like a Bible, man.
Yeah, I think it's all Americans in America are in that book.
It's just the white pages.
Yeah,
yeah, but you're in it.
Oh, in it.
You're in it. Yeah. Put that on the put that on LinkedIn.
Yeah, makes my dad happy.
Yeah. Did you show him?
No, I'm not gonna show him the book.
But just take a picture or something.
He won't be as happy about the achievement. Yeah,
Pops, listen. Yeah, I got in this book. It's a big deal. Leave it at that.
Yeah, just leave it at that.
Just leave it at that.
The book is like this big.
Who's Who? There's 10.
Well, like when I was showing Sam I was telling her my reaction, and I was showing Sam over a video chat. I held it like this first, so all she can see is like, oh wow, that's cool. And then I turned it around like, what? How huge is that book? I know. It just kind of lessens the thrill, doesn't it?
Who isn't who in this book? How many people do we know how many people are in it?
I have no idea, but it has to be a lot, dude.
2,000. I bet there's 2,000.
Yeah, maybe more. I think more.
Right. Whatever. You're in it?
Dude, there's 2,000 pages in the book.
Right.
And then you add,
so maybe 3
10
or 4
people
each.
per page.
10 people per page?
Yeah, like
I don't know.
six to 8 people per page.
6?
Yeah.
Dude.
Then that's only one side.
5,000 people.
Yeah. I tell you.
Well, at least you're in it.
Mm-hmm.
At least you're in it.
You know what? Whatever.
At least you did. You got good things. You got the big table. You didn't fold to the Indian food today, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're in the book. The brand is strong. Horse head. I would like the horse head on a stick if we're going to sponsor anything. We're going to make anything. Bourbon, no brainer. Sure, why not? What else is
that? Would be hilarious though. Like if we sponsor a horse head on a stick, dude. And like all those like those German,
please,
kids who ride the horse head. Like this is a Dimalanta horse head.
I will go into debt.
Dude, if I was gonna sponsor like that product, it better be the best damn horse head stick. I don't put my name on anything.
It's not subpar quality. Yeah, God damn it! It'll it's gonna
help them jump over the hurdles.
Yeah,
like nothing.
What do they even do? What would they even put in?
I don't know. It's the best quality wood.
What was the pump? Remember the sneakers back in the day had like the pump, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it can have one of those.
Reebok did Reebok make that?
I think so. Right?
Yeah, Air Max or something like that.
Yeah. So we could put one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Dude, to have real horsehair on it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I bet that's why some of those are expensive. I've seen them like $400 or $500. Yeah.
Ours is going to be elite, handmade. Every horse hair follicle is going to be hand stitched in there.
Instead of that, what if it's just a horse head? You know what I mean?
Okay, that'll be a bit morbid, but if you can sell it,
you just take that horse head.
It's fucking bleeding and stuff on the ground.
It's so good.
Like, wow, this is too realistic.
You get the sponsorship. You get all the sponsorship worked out, right? Oh man, we get a nice horse head on the stick. Yes, be very nice. And they get it. It's like leaking out of the box.
Yeah,
What? It's fine. We sponsored the whole thing.
You know what? Dude, I'd sponsor it if it was like that.
Oh, it's so good.
I'd sponsor it.
It's so worth doing.
I haven't arrived until we have that sponsorship and you wearing tracksuits.
Dude, they go hand in hand because
Yeah.
now you're kind of gangsterish.
Right.
And then the famous scene, right? With the horse heading and The Godfather.
Yeah.
Right? It all comes full circle, man.
We'd
so
you'd see us in the stands like placing bets in our tracksuit. Watching these kids jumping hurdles with our actual realistic horse on a stick.
That's so stupid.
Dude.
Like my hair,
I'm all
just
in.
like obvious wig, jet black.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Somehow figure out how to rig the competition.
There's some like real super obvious.
I try to blind kids with the reflection of my watch. I'm sorry. That kid just tripped over that hurdle. Sucks to be you.
We put Sam in a tracksuit on the field, like on the track or whatever. Yeah. And she's like really obviously just like putting her foot out and shit, tripping everybody.
No, she'd be the judge. We pay her on the side.
Yeah. She's on the judge. Take. She's on the take.
She's on the take. Yeah.
Everybody has ones.
Peaky Blinders.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that is.
Which, by the way, I did finish that show, Peaky Blinders.
Really?
Oh man, such a good show,
bro. So we got through the. Speaking of mobsters, what's homie's name with the very pronounced beak? Adrian Brody. Brilliant.
Oh
actor,
yeah,
right?
He played the Italian mobster. So good.
One of the best characters. Yeah. I mean, I already liked him as an actor. Anyway, I saw the movie,
you know,
what was that called? The Pianist.
Yeah,
it was a really good movie.
You know that scene where in Heat, where Al Pacino and who was it? De Niro had that like
when he
sit down. They had a sit down at the restaurant
at the table.
At the table.
Yeah.
When I watched that Peaky Blinders scene where the Italian mobster was talking to Tommy in his office,
like the very first.
Yeah, and he tried to. Tommy would try to like pull a gun on him, but it was empty. They already took the bullets. Like that reminded me of that Heat scene.
Yeah.
It was epic, dude.
Yeah.
But that would be one of those shows I think that I could probably go and watch it all over again. It was that good.
I did. I watched it twice. I watched. The whole
you did
twice.
Really?
Yeah. The whole series.
It was good.
Yeah, that was a good one, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and even down to the end. You know, sometimes you invest all this time into these shows, and then like you're so disappointed at the end. Like for example, case in point, Sons of Anarchy. Did you watch that whole thing?
Oh, yeah, I watched the whole thing.
You watch the whole thing, and you're like, okay, and you're like cheering for the dude, right? Yeah. What's his name? The character.
Jax Teller.
Yeah, Jax Teller. You're cheering for him. Like, come on, man.
Figure it out.
Change the MC culture. Get it back to the streets. And then you like fall in love with his wife, and his wife is so supportive. And then she, to the point where she's like, she's now like the wife. Like when Jax became like the leader of the group.
Yeah.
And then she gets waxed, and then
by his mom of all people. And
right.
He's got to take his mom out too.
Yeah.
Like,
it became really like Shakespearean, where like his mom died, his wife died, his dad was already dead, his father-in-law died,
right?
And then he goes and just lifts his hands up and like rides his motorcycle into a truck, a semi.
Should have done that from the beginning.
Yeah,
man.
just
save everybody the heartache.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Why would
it was
you
like, why? When I see endings to episodes, like to a great series like that, it makes me think that the writers just like gave up at the end. Like I really don't know.
I already cashed it.
Hey, I got an idea.
Yeah.
He's just gonna run right into a oncoming truck.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed. Not to mention I was disappointed with the soundtrack for the whole series.
Yeah, you mentioned that. You're right. Again, White Buffalo, good track.
But
he's a very good guy.
Peaky Blinders, man, it was good from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Especially once you bought into the characters.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the look of it too.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed like how it was shot. I remember everybody had the what's his brother's name? Arthur.
Mhm.
Everybody had the Arthur haircut for
Mhm.
a hot minute, you know? Like, yeah, I'm like, oh, maybe I should grow out one of them curly mustaches. Like,
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I just want to
yeah.
be there, man. It looks so
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
you know? And I love the
Wear the
accent. Arthur
three-piece
cracks me
suit,
up. Yeah.
little
Like a tweed
little
suit and
watch,
everything.
chain watch.
Yeah, man.
Put blades in the.
Yeah. Which is a
In your
really
hat.
shitty idea. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut my hand, you know? So you can't do that. You can't relate. But then, all right, look, the funny thing is, if you do that, like I've seen some guys about town, you know, where they got like a man bun, they got the suspenders going, and they're just kind of highly stylized, if you will, right?
What?
It's a
You don't
line,
like it?
man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like if you've ever run into like maybe celebrities or musicians in the wild, right? I've certainly seen a few in my day. I saw, for example, the actor that played the Terminator, but like Terminator 2, the Liquid, I think Robert, whatever his name is. And I saw him, and he was on like a motorcycle show or something like that.
I know who you're talking about.
So, anyways, I saw him in an airport, right? And I was like, oh shit, it's that guy, you know. And I'm not one to bug anybody. I just like noticed him, you know. But I don't know if he was like dressed just for the role kind of thing, because I know he was on that show at the time.
Yeah.
But whatever it was, like he looked just a little more stylized, if that's even the right word.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he had some cool rings
too much.
going and just like more rock and roll to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you gotta be, it's like a fine line, right? Because if you go too far, now you're just some douchebag in a man bun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, you're trying too hard.
Yeah, I agree.
You know? And especially if you're then like looking like it's 1927 or whatever. It's like, does that really work?
I feel like there was like a decade in the 2000s, like maybe 2006, 2005 to 2015 or so, where people are starting to wear suits more. Sure. Guys were wearing like the hats that they're wearing. You see like fedoras and things like that. Wearing a lot more like the, what do you call, pocket squares and the bow ties. You know, and then all of a sudden it was like a flash in the pan. It was like done.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really see people. I don't like. I used to a lot, but I don't see as many people dressing up as much around for business.
I avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I avoid it around here, especially for what we're trying to do.
Yeah. But no, I finished that show.
Yeah, it's an
that was
awesome
good.
show.
Yeah,
it's an awesome show. And just drinking. How do they get on in life, man? Like all the time.
Yeah.
Jesus. No wonder they die young. So that's good. Yeah. So our horse head idea might not play, right? But I'd love we get like Dimalanta.
I was wondering how we got on the horse head.
Yeah,
how we got on Peaky Blinders, because we wanted to be gangsters.
Yeah, gangster. We're gonna we're gonna rig the horse head race. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think I would push anything. I mean, it's certainly not a new idea, right? Like,
you wouldn't push any products.
I nothing else comes to mind where I'd be like, you know, this is what we're making now, right? Because like everybody's got the coffee they're making, everybody's got the wine, like you said. Snoop Dogg's killing on the wine. Yeah. Like everybody's got something like that. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's just what it is now. Yeah. Right. A better way to capitalize, because like
we would be more prone to buying like businesses than buying, or buying, you know, real estate than buying a product.
Right.
Or maybe even buying like software or invest in AI or something, because that's the way marketing is going. Yeah. But we'd be more prone to doing something like that.
Yeah.
Than to,
it's a serious business venture.
Yeah. Than to going into, hey, let's just
severed head business.
Yeah. I really want us to sponsor these speakers, you know.
Right. Yeah,
like
that's
that.
wild.
I wouldn't do that. Like Dre and his Beats by Dre or something like that. Beats by Dimalanta doesn't have the right ring.
There's not that instant kind of credibility to the whole thing. I think when I think about endorsements, some of them they're a little weird. I get it as an idea, right? Like if Liz Taylor had a shitload of money, as far as I understand it.
Yeah.
Right. And I think she inherited some of that through divorces. But anyways, she was a very wealthy lady. And so like, before my time, right? Even when she was in, moonlighting as a whatever she was, an endorsement lady, like she just got paid from the company stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's just kind of what it was.
Yeah.
Good for you, right? A watch company, a cologne thing, a clothing thing. Cool.
Yeah.
You use your celebrity to then, sell some stuff. Got it. But at some point, though, that all changed, right? Or maybe it was like one of those behind the scenes things that you got some ownership, but like it's not that way anymore. Like no. These days, like they're like leveraging the celebrity, and it's I don't know. It's like the engine of the thing that then starts selling whatever, and you can just attach it to whatever you want. It seems.
I mean, it hasn't been done for a long time though. I mean, with Air Jordans and stuff like that, or is that something different? Are you thinking something different?
But that's a one-off, right? Or more of a one-off. Like I don't know the deal.
Well, that was more like endorsements. Nowadays, it's like
the endorsement.
These people are buying into, buying shares of the product.
Yeah, like actively
becoming owners.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like you were the celebrity that got a paycheck to hawk whatever.
Yeah.
But now it's like you're the celebrity and partner, and together you're moving this in a particular direction.
Yeah.
Like that part is newer.
Yeah.
But it's
like, did you see? I think there's a new. I know there's a new series coming on, basically documenting and following Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson.
Wow.
Apparently, they either bought into or bought shares, or somehow they're now a part of Reebok.
Okay.
And the basic plot is, Reebok has kind of lost market share, a lot of market share over the years, and they want to reestablish some more dominance.
Yeah.
And so as a result, they struck a deal. I don't know if it's ownership, I don't know if it's shares or just endorsements, but they struck a deal with Allen Iverson and Shaquille O'Neal, two prominent Hall of Fame basketball players, to help to turn it around. And they document it on this Netflix show.
Really?
So yeah, I want to watch that.
That's
because now they're trying to use their star power leverage to be able to recruit star athletes, current day star athletes, to try to get them to promote the shoes. They're trying to help their influence the design, the look and feel of the shoe. Yeah, it's interesting. I want to watch that.
That is, yeah, man. Yeah, and I mean, of all people, it's not just. It certainly is to Hall of Fame basketball players, fact, right? But Shaq is a mogul, and he's actually Dr. O'Neal, and that's his business. That's what he knows all about. So, that's fact. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Well, maybe they should increase their marketing on that one because I didn't know. So it seems like these days, if you're a celebrity, you're gonna leverage that, and you're gonna start launching something. It's a wine, it's clothing. Some of them, it's funny. Like some of it makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
We're in the marketing game, and there's like things that kind of just lend themselves to that. Sure, okay, an AI app.
Yeah,
got it. That totally makes sense. It's on brand. But it is kind of weird. Like I'll cite some weird examples that I did not see coming.
Yeah.
Any number of metal bands are like hawking their beer, their wine, their coffee. Like, that doesn't add up to me, right?
No.
Like maybe the beer just has a novelty.
Maybe alcohol or, monster drinks or something like that.
I guess, right? But there's a satanic death metal band from Poland called Behemoth. Shout out, they're amazing. And I'm a fan for 20 years now. But I think they have like a coffee thing going. I don't expect that. You know what I mean? That's just an odd, like
a little bit of brand dissonance there.
It's like, what? That's
weird. Maybe you need some coffee to stay awake to listen to them play.
I mean, I guess so.
Does their music doesn't sound like it's music that would make you fall asleep?
Not at all. Not even a little bit. No. No. In fact, Jamie Josta has a funny saying. He says, "Coffee, death metal, push-ups." That's like his morning routine. And he actually made a shirt with like stick figures, right? Coffee plus death metal plus dudes doing push-ups. So it's pretty cool. Shout out to Jamie. So anyways, but yeah, my point is exactly brand dissonance. It's like not the first thing I would think of because honestly, I'm kind of like, I don't know, where'd you guys get your coffee? You know, like, I don't know, it's just gonna be some low rent coffee that, or not, or maybe it's gonna be like super extra fancy. It's like, dude, a bunch of metalheads listening to, like, I don't have another $50 a bag for your stupid coffee, you know? So yeah, certain things like that, I'm like a little like, I get why you're cashing in, but also like, what's that got to do with anything? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
Who else? Yeah, Beats by Dre. Maybe Clooney. George Clooney made a shitload of money. Right? He sold his tequila for like $1 billion.
Wow.
Right? That's like,
what?
That's big.
I'm trying to think of some others. Drew Barrymore with her Home Goods, her show.
And then the TV show helps to push that, right? So like in terms of like her kind of value and her celebrity, like the machine, she's got this, you know, vehicle, this tool in a show.
Yeah.
Where
that builds her brand, builds a trust from the viewers to her. Yeah. And if she recommends these home good products, that hopefully she played a role in designing, right? Then her fan base will ideally gravitate to that, right?
Right. Yeah. The factors now are more than ever trust and authenticity, like biggest asset.
Ryan Reynolds again.
Yep.
We mentioned this in the past episodes, but he's great as a brand ambassador for his brands that he owns. Mint,
Mint Mobile,
Maximum Effort,
right?
The Wrexham soccer team that he co-owns. Like he's definitely seeing ways to be able to invest and leverage his star quality power to be able to boost that investment. Yeah, I think if they could do it, that's awesome.
I wonder
why not. You know,
like not knowing really. I don't know if I'll dive into it one day, but it's like, when did that all happen? You know what I mean? Like, how does that become a thing? Because
I bet you if we really looked at it, it probably has been done for a long time.
Yeah,
but maybe not as this, you know, to this scale.
Do you think that it was like not outwardly
maybe
known? You know, like,
I just can't imagine. I can't. Anybody who has star power, right? Even I would imagine back in the 50s or 60s, like they haven't been approached by some company to say, "Hey, could you, would you want to buy into this?" Right? Because like they have money, and so naturally, people who have businesses look for people who have money and say, "Hey, you have money, Frank Sinatra. Would you go and promote and buy into this business or work out a deal to endorse or what have you?" I just can't imagine that it's just that's a new thing.
No, but the trick of it is that I guess I still picture that company, unless you're so big. Like Sinatra wasn't just famous, like he was wealthy. He had a lot of money.
Yeah.
Johnny Carson was wealthy and famous, right? But if you're just like, just coming up, right? You got 20 million in the bank comparatively. Whereas back in the day, I think Johnny Carson, he had to split 300 million with his ex-wife, right? But that's back in like 85 or something. Like, God damn, that's a lot of money, right? So depending on the celebrity, right? And the kind of money power, star power they're bringing, then it's like, I could see how you might have to cut that deal. Look, Johnny, listen, baby, we got to fucking make this money, all right? We'll give you a piece on the back end. Boom, boom, boom. There you go, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But it wasn't quite pushed like they weren't selling it like Johnny is a partner at the company.
Yeah.
And I highly doubt, and I don't know any better, but it seems like, well, he probably wasn't in the board meetings. He was off having a gin, man. He was just playing golf. Like, so, but these days, like those celebrities themselves are like, no, I want to be in it.
Oh yeah.
Like I want to do the thing.
Yep.
For better or worse.
Well, also with social media now, being so powerful that they have direct access to their audience that they probably didn't back then. Because back then you'd only whenever you're seeing on TV or on radio, maybe magazine ads, right? Other than that, now every celebrity, a lot of celebrities, they have their own Instagram. They could post reels. And so if they're going to be able to do that and ask to do that, they want a piece of it.
Yeah, they have.
And ownership even.
It's like they have, social media has allowed the cultivation of, I guess, eyeballs is what it really is, right? So you've got this celebrity, okay? You've got direct access pretty much to the population at large, okay? Whatever platform. You leverage that, and that's like cultural capital, you could say, right? So, okay, so then you've got this capital, you got these people sitting there paying attention to you, trusting you, knowing that you're authentic.
Yeah.
But it's the direct access.
Yep.
Yeah. And then they're capitalizing, right? Yeah. Now it's actual like value. Like I will bring, I'll bring 10 million. Okay, so what? You know, Clooney brought 10 million, no. I'm well trusted.
Yeah.
Like these aren't just 10 million. These are 10 million like they drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Loyal fan base.
Yeah.
And now that's why they probably, companies may not even talk to some of them if they don't have a large following on their social media accounts. They look and say, wow, you have access to 3 million followers.
Right.
Okay. If we even got a fraction of those people who bought the product because you're promoting it, how much does that make us?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That goes a long way, man. Like even my kids, as young as they are, 12 and 10, right? Like they're looking at the likes. Every, we look at Spotify, really weird thought experiment, right? They're looking at like a Journey song or something like that, and some whatever I'm listening to, right? And it only had so many views, so many subscriber counts, and whatever else on Spotify, right? And then they go to like a what pick your poison, man.
Yeah.
T Swift or anybody like this, or whatever they listen to, and it dwarfed the number. It wasn't T Swift because obviously, sorry, she's way at the top, but like somebody else like that, Dua Lipa or something, and but it dwarfed the numbers. I mean, 10x, like it wasn't even close, right? And so they thought to themselves, right? I think my oldest, and she was like, oh, well, obviously, more people love this than that.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, this is a deeper impact. This is whatever. And I was like, well, hold on now, right? You're talking about music from back then,
right?
When I was a kid.
That was the
right. But
yeah, well, that was a shit.
How many of me and my age group, right, and those even older than me, are even subscribed to Spotify?
Right.
How many are going on and liking it, engaging with it, right, and basically adding to the numbers, right? It's like, not really. I won't probably, I don't do that. So it was kind of a weird eye opener for her, but it did showcase me that like, oh yeah, man, she sees the likes.
Yep.
Right. That's like super important.
Yep. That's why when we grow our likes, we'll be able to get endorsements too.
Be able to get fucking, people send us horse heads. Please don't send me a horse head, man. I can't take that.
No.
What if instead of that? Okay, look, hold on.
Yeah, we need to start promoting things that we actually would want.
Yeah. Tracksuits for sure. Tracksuits for sure.
Yeah.
3-finger rings. Yeah, for sure. What if, here's a theme with the horse head. What if we okay, so you go with the actual head, but it's like a shrunken head. Because if you notice, like they're smaller.
Yeah, they're smaller.
Right?
Yeah.
Like a horse head.
It's huge. It's huge.
Massive thing.
The kid will topple over.
Yeah. It's like a 30-pound thing. You can't just run around with that. So yeah, it'd be funny if it was like a shrunken head, which would look even more, just is equally as bizarre than a bloody horse head run around. Anyways, so yeah, celebrities are capitalizing, man. I think sometimes it makes sense. I wonder when it started, and I wonder what's next. Has there been? I'm off the top of my head. Is there any failures? I'm trying to think.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes.
You know what I mean?
In fact, I remember watching this I remember watching this documentary on like NFL football players and
Yeah.
how many often they go broke.
Yeah.
And one of the things I recall is like how many of them like invest in businesses and it fails.
Oh, yeah.
They just I'm
Totally.
going to buy some whatever Wendy's, and then they fail or something like that. So yeah, all the time deals fall through.
Yeah, no, that's
don't work.
It's a fair point. Like, how often is it? It's always, what's weird is it's always the kind of outrageous
Justin Timberlake buying into MySpace. Like, but he did that when it already was plummeted. Like, so
he was going to turn it around.
Yeah, he was going to turn it around.
Oh, that's kind of an interesting note too, right? What if you think that you're kind of a big deal, and that you're going to get on board, you know what I mean? And you're like, oh, I'll save it. Yeah. And you get in there and you just jump on the sinking ship, man.
Yeah. I'm sure that happens all the time. Yeah. Absolutely. Because there's no guarantees in business, Fact. All sorts of things can happen and you lose your money.
Yeah. Yeah, but usually some of those guys go for stupid deals though, man.
Yeah.
You buy like a polo horse polo team or something. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Right.
Who gave you this advice, man? Start small. Buy a laundry.
Buy a horse or something. It's like such a huge investment, and the payoff the return isn't all that good.
Yeah. Right.
I remember hearing Jimmy Fallon talk about that one time in the Tonight Show. Bad investment buying a horse.
Yeah.
For the racetrack.
Yeah. That seems.
But then you have others like you have 50 Cent, and he bought into vitamin water, and apparently that took off.
Brilliant.
Right.
But he did that. But he had. He brought like street smarts to it. You know what I mean? He had perspective. Because I've heard the story, I haven't heard it recently, but I know that his insight in the moment was kind of a revelation. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he seemed to have had the insight enough to be like, wait, nobody's capitalized on this. And even his pitch with the funny thing, I'm trying to remember who he was saying it to. Which interviewer, but even his pitch came off a little to his business people or whatever, manager or whatever. It was a little bit like, "You can do what?" It sounded dumb at the time. I'm gonna invest in water. What?
But then there's some odd success stories though too, because like I remember, so I have a friend whose brother met Diamond Dallas, the WWF wrestler.
Yeah, Diamond Dallas Page.
DDP. While going on an airplane, he was like a videographer, and I was already in the bodybuilding scene doing some documentary stuff. Right. Talked to Diamond Dallas, found out he was doing like yoga, had his whole yoga routine.
It's great stuff.
Who would ever thought that Diamond Dallas Page would have this multi-million-dollar company selling his yoga routine, but yet.
Yeah.
He did, because if you think about then, like a lot of the, when you put your body through all that slamming into the mat,
oh my God.
These guys, when they're retired, they're broken. Their body's broken. Some of them can't even move. They were showing things like Jake the Snake Roberts, who couldn't even move, then started doing the DDP yoga and their program. And all of a sudden he's able to move. They were showing even Butterbean. I don't know if you ever. There's a really cool YouTube video where Butterbean.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He basically couldn't move, couldn't get out of his chair. Worked with DDP Yoga and their program, and all of a sudden he's able to shadow box again and
he's running
and all that. Yeah. And it all started with this one home video of this guy war vet.
Paratrooper.
Yeah. He was like right. And then he basically kind of crippled. Yeah. And then next thing you know, he's doing like headstands, handstands, running, sprinting
with the with the diamond.
Yeah. And then when that video hit YouTube, it gained millions of views, and then DDP Yoga
on Rogan's podcast, right? And it was already it was out there in the ether. But then, like, speaking of celebrity and platform access, and all, Jesus, right? You hit Rogan with that, and now you got Rogan crying.
Oh yeah,
right. And it's just like,
it's unreal.
This guy's got.
So you think like, how would DDP have anything to do with yoga? But the story is brilliant.
Yeah,
just from because that was Diamond Dallas's story. Like he was basically immobile, and in pain. And then so he started doing yoga, right?
Yeah.
And slowly recovered his body. It's so there's, but you never think brand yoga, WWF wrestler.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah.
The story there was brilliant though. So
yeah, I mean, there is the hindsight too, right? Because
Mhm.
it's like when it works,
Yeah.
it seems inevitable.
Yeah.
Right. You're like, oh, of course.
Mhm.
But then on paper,
Mhm.
honestly, probably more often than not, it's like, this is never going to work.
Yeah.
Right. But I guess, big risk, big reward. Yeah, man. Yeah. Horse heads. I'm still on this. We're going to have endorsements. We'll get the horse head. I think that's fun. Track suits. We got bourbon we could push. That might be fun.
Mhm.
For Don Draper's Den, though, not the actual business. I don't know what else there would be. We'll have to discover. We'll have to discover what it is. But I think there's nothing serious.
Mhm.
There's not going to be anything serious at all.
Yep.
Nothing but tracksuits.
Tattoo shop. Yeah.
I
was waiting for you to talk about it.
Funny you should bring that up. I know a guy who recently got into that space, that world. Yeah, man, that's exciting for you and your old lady, man.
Yeah.
Picked up a little piece of property and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some ink at that tattoo shop, man.
Yeah, we decided to so we were looking into that the building, and then with that owning a tattoo shop along with it, and we're like, this could work. We can make this work.
Yeah.
And so we bought the rights to Royal Prevail Tattoo.
Right. Dope spot.
Yep.
Dayton, right? Dayton.
Up in Fairborn, in greater Dayton area.
Yeah. That's right.
So now we're in a process of revamping the website. Talking to all the employees, getting everything, all the automated scheduling set up, and and for us, that doesn't necessarily relate to the Dimalanta brand, but to the Hannah Ernie brand, it relates perfectly because we have ink.
Right.
It's part of our lifestyle now. And then now there's a piercer in the shop too, so looking to get more piercings.
Right.
And so
we're going
it's
Prince
exciting.
Albert or what? We're going for the Prince Albert or what?
What's that?
Dude, that's right through the right through the old Brajol.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
Well, what are you talking about, dude?
No. What were they doing? I forget the guy's name. He's the godfather of piercing. And back in the 70s. And he evidently he wrote the book on that. He's like, you want to, do what seems to be some of the most excruciating piercing known to man. Like, why would you do that to yourself? But as they say, it's the experience.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, man, that's it.
So yeah, but for what Hannah and I do in our lifestyle, and from the concerts we go to the ink we get, going to Las Vegas, getting tattooed there, it was something that we've always talked about one day owning a tattoo shop. Never occurred that it would happen this fast. Right. But as we're exploring the opportunity with the shop and the building and the whole package, we're like, you know what? Let's jump into it. We got one life to live. One life to live.
As you say, it seemed like cool people. The art looks good.
Yeah.
From what I saw online, I was like, oh.
Yeah, but here we're also taking a shop that the talent's there, but the marketing is not.
Right.
And so, hey, we own a marketing agency, right? So it's like,
easy enough,
I think we could turn that around pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
who doesn't like tattoo shops, man? It's like a cool hang.
Yeah.
I've had many a good night at a tattoo shop, but getting work done and just,
and
just
two, for us, it's an investment. It's not like we're working that we're trying to live off of this shop revenue.
Right.
If we're trying to live off the shop revenue, that would be a poor use of money. Just because one, we're not even tattoo artists, so we don't make 100% of the cut. We don't make, we're just making a percentage of the cut, right? But because we're investors and we invested in this, we bought it. Now we can let it do its thing, and we don't. Okay, let's see how much we make, and we can accumulate wealth, like as though we just put money into a stock and we're just waiting year over year to see this thing grow, and then reinvest that money back into the shop. So yeah, Hannah and I are really excited to be tattoo shop owners.
Yeah,
and
That's cool.
Yeah, we're excited about it. But I could see why, like, now we're not even celebrity status, but I could easily see why celebrities
Maybe you're not, bro.
like 50 Cent or Snoop Dogg, and he has his wine, he has his clothes in Walmart, he has all sorts of things. Yeah, if you ever go to Walmart and you see like, okay, there's his line of clothes.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's crazy. Damn. But it makes sense. You got the money, you got the influence, you have access to your fan base.
Yeah.
To be able to promote your goods.
Right.
Yeah, why not? What's the worst that happens? Especially if it's an investment.
Yeah.
It fails. It fails. You move on to the next product.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But leverage your personal brand.
If you're not putting yourself out there too much in anything crazy.
Yeah.
Where it's going to like tarnish your rep, then why not, man?
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise you're just going to have to go hunt or rather eat what you kill. Right. And like, who's the time of day, man? I mean, it's this.
You know what band should promote odd product would be ICP, Insane Clown Posse, promoting Faygo. Like not promoting it, but actually owning.
Like getting a piece.
Yeah, getting a piece of it.
Yeah.
Because that's so part and integral to their whole show.
Cut us in.
Right?
Yeah.
It would be Faygo ICP.
Dude, by the way, I had no idea that was a thing.
Neither did I.
Ever.
I've never been an Insane Clown Posse fan, but then, meet Hannah, and she's been a fan since she was a kid.
Yeah.
So we got to go see them. Right. Dude, they were like shaking up the Faygo 2 liters and then popping the cap and like shooting like missiles, like right at the crowd. Dodging.
Who came up with that?
They were dodging Faygo bottles and they're shooting up in the air. And these guys are like pros at it too. The one guy, he's like singing and he's shaking with one hand, and he's the Faygo 2 liter bottle, and he's just shooting it like up in the air. We saw him at the Sonic Temple Festival.
Yeah,
man, those things were flying high. He was just shaking up, shooting it up.
Can you imagine like
splashing everybody?
Ants? If you leave, aren't there just bugs all over the place?
That's what I was thinking. But I did notice it was like zero sugar.
Yeah, like
Faygo. Like diet zero sugar Faygo. And so her and I were asking, I'm like, I wonder if that's because like she said, the ants and attracting all that. Right. And then also like we were doused head to toe of just Faygo. Right. And yet I was able to, by the time I got to my car, it all kind of dried off. We changed our clothes, obviously, but I didn't feel sticky. I didn't take a shower
that's the
in between
I think about,
the
like
concert
soda?
to the car. Yeah. But yet it wasn't sticky at all. I'm like, I wonder if that's why too, or does it have an issue with like diabetics or something? I don't know.
Sure, there's a lot of liability in that.
I don't know, but that would be a great, like if they
owned. That's a good move on their part.
If they own Faygo.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or a piece of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if Faygo would want to have their name associated.
That's kind of a rough thing on their part. I mean, at the same time, I've never heard of Faygo either. Like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
That's how you said it. Well, I think that's a good run through that idea, man. I think it's just par for the course, right? I don't think that's going away, right? For like projecting into the future, that is not going away.
No,
I mean,
never.
shit, if I'm an entertainer, if I've got the juice.
We live in a capitalist society, any capitalist society, people are going to try to leverage their money
100%.
And their influence to try to make more money.
Right.
And more influence.
More so now than ever, especially with the kind of access that they have
on
social media, and you can push your own stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe you're not tied down by the corporate thing either.
No.
When you've got that kind of leverage, like, hey.
And also we're thinking about it from the standpoint of the celebrities choosing products to work with. Yeah. But what about the companies?
Yeah, plugging them.
They're saying, okay, hey, you know what could help save our company, or you know what could help increase sales? Yeah. Is what if we get this actor to buy in?
Right.
That could help boost us.
Yeah.
I wonder if that somehow makes it into the board meetings or those marketing sales meetings. Let's try to target certain celebrities, influencers. Well, we know it happens with influencers on social media all the time. Right. You see these people, like I would never know who they are, but they got millions of followers and they're making money off of these products that are sponsoring them or asking them to sponsor them. Right. So that's definitely a marketing strategy. if you have a product or a service, is what influencer out there would be willing to promote our goods.
Yeah.
You know,
who's going to look good for us to be
and
associated
I think
with.
that's, you know, that's a great strategy.
Yeah.
Using influencer marketing.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we're available. If there's any company who makes tracksuits.
Adidas
Adidas
makes tracksuits. Yeah, I think we got to gain more followers in order to get their attention. Though,
and we got like a really.
I was looking into Dixon, like what it'd take to do a collab with Dixon. And one of the things that they ask is, well, like basically the number of followers you have, and like, does your community show us evidence that you're in photos that your community actually wears our products?
Right.
And if you could, you know, basically convince us, then we'll do a collaboration. So, so all you listeners out there, start buying Dixons, take photos.
Let's go, Dixon.
Send it in to our email, info@dimalantadesignGroup.com. Send those photos in so we can show it off to Dixon. Maybe we get our own collab. I want to do that for Royal Prevail Tattoo. How cool would that be?
That would.
We have our own collab flannel.
Right.
And then you could buy it at the shop or online. Come on, now, dude. Yeah.
Even if you look,
I have so many ideas.
Hook something up, right? Hey, Dixon, listen.
Right. I wear Dixon. I wear your stuff almost every episode, pretty much because I'm wearing it every day. And you know how hot it is outside.
You're committed to the brand, dude.
I'm committed to the brand. It's hot out.
It's very hot out, but
today.
He's comfortable still. Yeah.
After eating Indian hot, spicy 6++ heat Indian food,
when they had to bring those lassies out. Yeah, man. Yeah, that was good. That was good. All right. Yeah, we get all the little stuff in there, man. Boost Up Tattoo Shop. That's awesome. Bragging on our dope ass studio. And it's put it in my brain now, man. We got to come up with some cool endorsements we can get. Right. Cool sponsorship.
Sounds good.
All right. With that, let's get out of here from the iconic era of advertising to the digital age. I'm Chris.
And I'm Ernie.
Keep it legendary.